Mayor Fischer, you're here. What perfect timing. Oh my God. Talk about compassion in action. There would be no Compassion Games if Mayor Fischer didn't write me a letter claiming Louisville was the most compassionate city in the world and would be so till proven otherwise. In fact, he said they were so compassionate that they'd come out to Seattle to help us beat them. If that's not the golden rule in action, I don't know what is. And I know you're at home, and I'm so grateful for you coming here because our whole focus for the games is to get other mayors. We're going to serve the mayors first and let them be available to each other and get the support from everybody. Because being a mayor of a city right now, I can't imagine a more important place to be. So thank you for making time for this and for helping us launch these Karuna Games.
Absolutely, John. It's good to see you guys and several friends on the call as well. So, yeah, I don't know that there's ever a better time to launch this initiative because the world is united, I think, in a way that we have not been before. When it really gets down to the survival of us physically, I think it's causing people to reflect on our interdependence in a new way. And I hope once we get to the end of this, whatever the quote new normal looks like, that we reassess our relationships with the human condition, with each other. And I feel like that can only lead to good things for us. So, how we define compassion here in our great city of Louisville is that we just want everybody's human potential flourishing. And what this crisis, this COVID-19 crisis is illustrating is just how fragile that is. And as we know here in this country of America, where 40% of the population can't get through a $400 emergency, that's just no way for anybody to have to be living in supposedly the wealthiest country on the face of the earth. So I think when we get through this, we can reflect and talk about how we can all relate with each other in a much better way. But as it relates to the activities that we've been doing here, what we've seen is, we've got a health crisis, we got a financial crisis, and then we have a social service delivery crisis that has really exacerbated the problems for those that are most marginalized, that have been in place for hundreds of years, centuries in our country. It's just all coming to a point right now. So fortunately, the social muscles that we've built as a city through all of our compassion efforts really are paying off in a time like this. I mean, crises test all of us, and our city is responding in a loving and compassionate and kind way, from individual acts to big acts as well. So what we've done is stand up 3 initiatives outside of our response as a city government. And one was we turbocharged all of our initiatives around digital inclusion so all of our students could have access to the web and a device so that they could be effective online learners. We come back from spring break tomorrow in our public school system, and it's important that all of our kids obviously are online and learning, and that the divide of digital equity does not make those that are kind of marginalized fall behind even further. So that's been achieved. Secondly, we launched a relief fund. My goal was to announce it with $2.5 million. We stood it up in 3 days. We're about $8 million right now. And so we're already helping folks that have been impacted by this, both from an individual standpoint, but then from a social service delivery standpoint as well. And then the third thing was to create something we call Lift Up Lou. In crises like this, there's much a mental health challenge and crisis as they are a physical health crisis. So how do you keep a city together with a feeling of interdependence and joy and compassion, and lift each other up when we're encouraging people to be socially distant, yet we're social creatures? So Lift Up Louisville has been doing that online with community songs that we're creating, community art, community exercise, community meditation. Every night at 7 p.m. we close with a mindfulness exercise, which has been really cool because, a lot of people that have hesitated before or didn't know how to approach mindfulness and meditation now see it as a natural way to come in. And one of the features I have twice a week is called The Doctor is In, where we have doctors talk about the health crisis, and we close that with meditation and breathing exercises. So there's a lot more people in Louisville that are taking deep breaths and meditating right now as a result of this. And I think that's just going to go forward as well. So I'm looking forward to helping John, you and the team on the call with the Karuna Games, and to do a public service announcement that we'll, put out around the country to all of our mayors so that they can mobilize their cities to just embrace everybody with warmth and compassion, while of course being socially distant. But there's lots of ways to get this done. So I'm pleased to be part of the team. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. If prayer has power, boy, I send you all our prayers, Mayor.
Thank you, brother.
And you are the real deal. We'll come back better. That's the spirit of the games, that we be healthy, we be kind, and we be better, and we come back better.
I would just also like to add that, wow, I mean, in midst of the corona being something that you're dealing with, it's just so amazing to see how much you are sharing and being such a leader of Karuna. So it's such an antidote to corona. I really feel as you're sharing, Mayor Fischer, and just my prayers are with you and your family at this time.
Well, thank you. Yeah, everybody's born with it. And, we just had our first grandchild. She's 4 months old, and every little baby is born with love and compassion and kindness. So, we're just reminding people that, and this crisis is bringing out people that bring it out in folks. So we're grateful with that. We got some challenges, but boy, we're seeing just wonderful examples of humanity shining forth every day. So as the home of Thomas Merton, we're doing our best to shine like the sun every day.
And that is it is so true.
Oh,
They're
gosh.
walking the streets of Louisville, Kentucky. I will never forget it.
I don't know if Tom told you yet, but the Caravan of Unity, which is being planned for starting on August 28th from San Francisco from Unity Earth, is planning a stop in Louisville on September 14th on our way to New York for the International Day of Peace.
All right. Well, we'll embrace you accordingly.
Okay. I love you, Mayor Fischer. I don't want you to feel obligated to stay 1 second more. I know how busy things are there. I'm just so grateful for you making time to be with us. And we're going to empower you with all we've got and all the mayors and all the good things people are doing. So we put them to use.
So I hope the other mayors out there all over the U.S. are hearing this challenge from Mayor Fischer in Louisville, Kentucky. I know Louisville. It's still
Louisville. That's really good. That's right.
Better?
We are the self-proclaimed most compassionate city in the world until we are dethroned. Okay, so bring it on. But yeah, I've got to jump off for another call. So I want to say thank you, John. Marilyn, it's good to see you. Good to see Jonathan Granoff on here as well, and other friends. So blessings to everybody. Thank you all so much.
Bye.
Thank you. Wow.
Bye-bye.
Fabulous.
In honor of the launch of the Karuna Games, this is Kristin Hoffman, and she will be playing a piece about compassion in Bengali called Karuna Nayan.
And the vision for these Karuna Games, this idea that we can come back better, this idea that we can be healthy, we can be kind, we can be better. As Andy says, it's advancing the loving bees. And we heard them from Mayor Fischer so beautifully. You see him deal, by the way, he didn't say this, but the mayor has been quarantined at home. The mayor has been dealing with the virus.
And his wife.
And his wife.
That's why I was
But
saying.
man, you talk
right.
about the strength that he demonstrated and the potential to empower the mayors around the world at this time. That's the vision. That's how we're going to start these Karuna Games, where we're going to bring the mayors together and share the very best ideas that we're looking for you to share with us. We'll share out with them and bring these opportunities to really amplify the waves of what is working right now. How do we reconfigure the world right now so that we can come back better? So I want to pass this now. You guys, he's not in his usual garb where he's hidden.
It's Deb.
In the International Kindness team. But Andy Smallman and Summer and I, we've been working together on the Compassion Game since it started. He's a genius. His program, Kind Living, and the work he's done with educating and teaching people the power of kindness. He's the author of The Person Who Writes the Missions. Shh, I'm now letting it out from the secret from the International Kindness team. But Andy, share with us. It's so good to have you here, and thank you for the years of wisdom and sharing and teaching kindness in the world.
Jon and Summer, thanks so much for having me. It's lovely to be here. And wow, what an honor to sit and be able to listen to all these incredible secret agents of compassion. And of course, we call them secret, but nobody's a secret agent of compassion. We're just agents of compassion. And that is a big thing that we've been trying to communicate since the Compassion Games began in 2012. We've been trying to find fun and engaging and entertaining ways for people to really play a game, which isn't a game either. It's just being human. And so that's what we're trying to do here. And in response to the coronavirus, we've got the Karuna Games. And so here we are with the Karuna Games, another version of the Compassion Games with a little bit different structure than we've thought of before. So the idea being that we don't know how long this particular edition of the Compassion Karuna Games is going to go, but we know that we're going to be offering people very specific ideas. So Jon put out basically what I have in mind from the secret agent of compassion component, and that is the advance of the loving bees. And I want people to think about what those bees can be. What we're promoting is this idea of be healthy, be kind, be better. And so each one of those is one of the bees, but we're talking about these as behaviors, and that what do we believe that we need to do right now? So these are the loving bees that we'll be advancing. I've created a first video to kind of give a little bit of an overview of this, which I'll put in the Facebook feed in a minute. And I know we're a little having a little bit of an issue with time. So I had this idea, Jon and Summer, to unmute everybody here and read a pledge, but I think that that's probably not quite the thing to do. So I'll put the pledge on the Facebook feed as well, but wishing you all a very fun and engaging and productive advance of the Loving Bees Karuna Games. And thanks for having me here.